First off, you have a quiz tomorrow. It will only be on sections 2.1 through 2.3. Truth statements, inductive reasoning, which is those patterns, and then what we did today, or what we did yesterday, and what we're going to do today. There's not a lot new today. These may or may not be a bonus. Everybody with me on that? Okay. So let's talk. Straight lines, which are also called straight angles, have to equal what? You told me, Esther. What do straight lines have to equal? 180 degrees. They equal 180. Well, what does? This plus this plus this. All three parts form the whole angle. Everybody with me there? So now I can say, I don't know if I can see this. Yeah, I'm good. 5x minus 10 plus 3x plus 30 plus x plus 10 equals 180. We've spent a lot of time solving equations, right? This is why. So now we're here. We've got 5x's plus 3x's plus 1x. Oh man, Mr. H. 5x is 8x plus 1x is 9x. Then negative 10 plus 30 is 20. 20 plus 10 is, help me, 20 plus 10 is 30. Yes. Yay. All of that gives me this equation. Have I lost anybody there? Questions? So now, Mr. H, you did this wrong. It should have been a negative 30. Subtract 30 from both sides. That leaves me with 9x equals 150. Divide by 9. X then equals, somebody with a calculator, it's going to go in once. Leaves me with 60, so something like...
It's like 16.6.
16.6?
Yeah, 16.6 if you're going for that.
16.6 repeating. Let's round it to 16 and 6, 7. Now, what I'm going to show with that equal sign is I'm not going to use the equal sign. If I'm rounding, I'm going to show it as the approximate sign. So x is approximately 16 and 67 hundredths. Everybody with me? Yes? I want the measure of angle ABD. Well, ABD is this. Oh, well that's two of them. That's right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to substitute in. Let me get a different marker. So we all have those calculators. We're going to substitute in. I'm going to say 5 multiplied by 16 and 67 hundredths minus 10 plus 3 times 16 and 67 hundredths plus 30. So, I'm going to say calculator. Can I clear this?
Yeah.
Good. 5 times 16 and 67 hundredths minus 10 plus 3 times 16 and 67 hundredths plus 30. So I get 100 for this. 153 and, what does that say, 36 hundredths?
36.
36 hundredths degrees. Because the measure of angles are always in degrees. Who did I lose? What questions do you have? Where are we at? They are going to get harder and harder. The more that we learn, the more intense these are going to become. So remember, you're going to need to put into your mind, well, if it doesn't give me what it is, I probably already know it. It's a straight line. Oh, I know that's equal to 180. What is? The whole thing. That's why we add it all together. Everybody with me? Okay. This is different. What do these tick marks in between each segment mean? Go ahead, Esther.
All the same.
They're all the same. They're what? They're congruent. These are all congruent. So if this is 3x, this is 3x. If these are 3x, this is 3x. Well, now it looks pretty easy because we know the whole thing is equal to 12x minus 16. Well, the whole thing is this entire line, the entire line segment. So I have to add these parts to get the whole thing. Everybody with me? And if you don't have this, you should be copying it down. This is where I become a jerk, Julian. So here's my jerkish statement. You ready? So I passed math a long time ago. Anything that I put on the board is not for me. It's for you. So if I put it on the board, probably a good idea to write it down. Okay? So now we're combining like terms. 3x plus 3x plus 3x is?
9x.
Oh, there we go. Thanks. 9x. So I have 9x's equals 12x minus 60. I'm going to isolate my variable by moving my 12x over, because the goal is to get x's on the one side. So now I have negative 3x equals negative 60. How do I get x by itself? Divide by negative
3.
Very good. Nope, you're good. So x equals 20. That's all well and good, but that does not help me. Right? AB is here. It says 3x, so 3 times 20 is 60. So all I did was say 3 times the x that I found. 3 times 20 is 60. And then AD, if this is 60, this is 60, this is 60, it's 180. No, that's for me. Thank you. Give you guys about 1 more minute to copy this down. Then go ahead and get your homework out. We did page 68 and 69, numbers 1 through 15, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
I need to get you a book. I don't know where I'm going to do that, because I only had so many books. So I don't know how I'm going to get you a book. But I will.
I was confused on number 11, so I skipped it.
That's fine. Are we good on the board? Cooper, you're good? Daniel, you're good? Esther, you're just working? Okay. So, let's do a little review from yesterday before we get into the homework. Because there's really not much that I'm going to teach today. Today's going to be the practice. I wish I had just an eraser. You think I'd be strong enough to do this? Okay, so Daniel, did Judah go into football practice and tell you guys about our push-up challenge? So Judah and I have been talking back and forth, because Judah keeps going, I can beat you at this, I can beat you at that. Like the very first day of school, he said that he could do more pull-ups than me. And I'm like, I don't think you can, Judah. And then he's like, well, I'll squat more than you. And I was like, what's your max squat, Judah? He's like, 275. And then I took a video of myself doing 275 with a 6-second descent, a 5-second hold in the hole, and then drove it up. And he's like, well, so I was like, okay, how about this? We'll do push-ups, and I'll do them one-armed. He might have beat me by 2. Might have. We did that yesterday. You don't have to ask him. But he did really good push-ups. So we did 4 things yesterday. We talked about the conditional, which was an if-then statement. And it was if P, let's save that, then Q. The way that we write this was in this. P then Q. Then we had, what was next? You guys tell me. You give me the words. You have the notes. So get your notes out from yesterday. You guys can do this. The converse. So these are our 4 statements. So here's our first one. Our second was the
Q to P.
Q, if Q,
If Q to P.
then P. Then the I word,
Inverse.
inverse. And with the inverse, we had to do what to the statement? What was that N word? Go ahead, Esther.
It was a little
not,
wave
if
thing.
not P, then not Q.
If not P, then not Q. This is called negating the statement. Okay? And then last but not least, we had the contra positive. And again, those of you who weren't here and didn't watch the video, not naming names.
Only one person here that wasn't here yesterday.
That's not true. He wasn't here either. But
Okay, well.
and then contrapositive says, if not Q, then not P. Okay? So, what would be an example? An example of a conditional we used yesterday was, studying for a test gives me good grades. Okay? Studying for the test gives me good grades. My conditional would be, if I study for a test, then I get good grades.
Yeah.
If I study for a test, then I get good grades. The converse would be, if I get good grades, then I studied for the test. The inverse, if I do not study for the test, then I do not get good grades. The contrapositive, if I do not get good grades, then I do not study for the test, or did not study for the test. So, this is kind of the review from yesterday. Number 1, if I study, then I get good grades. Number 2, the statement is, I will go sledding when it snows. If it snows, then I will go sledding. I don't like that. I, based off of that statement, would write, if I go sledding, then it snowed. 3, if a figure is a square, then it is not a triangle. Number 5, if two lines are skew, then they are not in the same plane. Number 6, if two lines intersect, then their intersection is 1 point. Questions on 1 through 6. Okay, we're telling if it's true or false. If a polygon is a triangle, then it is concave.
False.
That is false. If a prism is a cylinder, then it is also a cone.
False.
If a triangle has 5 sides, then it is convex.
True.
True.
Oh.
Number 10, if 2 points are non-collinear, then exactly 2 lines contain them. That is true. Not one that we're going to need to worry about. 11, given R arrow S, write each statement into symbolic notation. Skip that one. Number 12, the conditional. If we keep our pig in the house, then it is a clean animal. 13, if all people need a savior, then all people have sinned. How true is that? Number 14, if 2 lines are non-coplanar, then they are skew. And number 15, if 2 lines are parallel, then they do not intersect. Okay, what questions do we have about this so far?
So I skip 11?
Say it again.
So skip 11?
That's what I did. We only have one word that we're going to worry about today. So we are still doing, oh man, I'm too short for this. It is 9/19/24. It is day 2 of 1.3 conditionals. Okay. Can I tell you that usually when I teach math, today is my favorite day of the year, but I was kind of told that I'm not allowed to do it. So, in case you're wondering, September 19th is National Talk Like a Pirate Day. And I absolutely used to get dressed up in full pirate garb with a peg leg and a bird on my shoulder. And every variable that we used was R. And I would wait, let's stand. Armies! And I would start teaching the entire day like that and say corny, really bad pirate jokes like, Arr, what's a pirate's favorite socks? Argyle. And like really bad jokes the entire time. And I was like, can I do that? They're like, no. So it's National Pirate Day. Yay. Yeah, you're welcome. Full pirate garb.
Is that because you're from?
Huh?
Is that because you're from Pittsburgh?
No, but that, I like it. That's not why, but I like it. Okay. A biconditional. I'm going to show you in what it says first. And then we're going to talk about it. If P, then Q, and if Q, then P. So a biconditional is a conjunction. Conjunction because of the word and. Remember we had disjunction, which was the word or, conjunction, which was the word and. But this isn't really what we're going to have. We're not going to say, if I study, then I get a good grade. If I get a good grade, then I study. A biconditional is with the words if and only if. The way that we show this in notation form is P, and it goes both directions, Q. This is one way that we show it. The second way we show it is P, IFF, Q. If and only if. This is really combining a conditional and its converse. Okay, that's all that we're doing is combining the conditional and the converse.
Why is there two F's?
If and only if. That's what that stands for. Because it goes like this. If and only if. Okay. It's just another notation in geometry that you need to know. So let's do this. We're going to start with this. Let's say math is awesome if and only if Mr. H teaches it. That is a biconditional. Okay, so this is the biconditional. Because of the words if and only if. Write the two conjunctions. Okay, and this is what it's going to look like. So now we're going to write the two conjunctions. The two conjunctions are those if-then statements. Okay? Or no, I'm sorry, two conjunctions. I wrote conjunctions. Two conditionals. Sorry. So, here's one. If math is awesome, then Mr. H teaches it. That's one. Remember, a biconditional is if P then Q and if Q then P. Here's my if P then Q. So the other conditional, which is now the converse, if Mr. H teaches math, then it is awesome. That's a biconditional. It's taking the conditional and the converse and smushing it together. If it snows, then school is canceled. If school is canceled, then it snows. School is canceled if and only if it snows, which isn't true. You can write a counterexample. School is closed if there's a flood. School is closed if we have a professional development day. School is closed if it's a holiday. Counterexamples prove that it is false. Right? Okay. What questions do we have on biconditional? You're putting them together. That's it. Okay? So, here's what you're doing. There's a lot more than what we need. Don't worry about it. You're going to be fine. Here's what I want you to circle. On the first page, circle number 1. Number 8. Circle number 12. Go to the next problem. Next page, I guess. Circle number 16. Circle number 17. Next page. 20, 21, 22. Next page. Number 1. Number 3. Number 6. Next page. Number 7. Number 9. Next page. Number 5. Next page. Number 6. And number 12. You have 20 minutes to work right now. We will go over these together tomorrow. This is classwork, should not be homework. You may all group together, push desks together. You may work on it. Work on this packet. Everything that you need is right here. If P, then Q is our conditional. Work together, don't get stuck. Questions? Get started, y'all.